Hello everyone and welcome back to KORR Monsters. This week we are in Houston, Texas for the 6th stop of the 2009 season. Our field of trucks for this event features Ray Goodwin in Big Tex, Tom Spencer in Deuces Wild, Gene Martin in Glazed and Confused, Cooper Lewis in High and Mighty, Rick Fletcher in Iron Giant, Greg Easton in Monkey Business, former two-time racing champion Lonnie Hall in Rambunctious, three-time freestyle champion Opal Baxter in Reckless Red, Adam Bell debuting a brand new Sassy Child here, Keith Johnson in Sinful Addiction, Bill Taylor in Violator, and then rounding out the field is Henry Gibbons in Youngblood. Now to start off the show, we're going to go right into racing. You can see the bracket here. 4 trucks getting the bye run into round number 2, those being Iron Giant, Sinful Addiction, Reckless Red, and Violator. But before we get to see those trucks, we have to go through round number 1 of racing, which is going to see Sassy Child versus Youngblood, Deuces Wild versus Glazed and Confused, High and Mighty versus Big Tex, and then rounding out round number 1 of racing, Monkey Business going up against Rambunctious. Now pulling up to the line, you can see that brand new Sassy Child on the left, but we got Sassy Child going up against Youngblood here. Good start out of both trucks into the first turn. Youngblood going really wide in turn 1. Sassy Child's already got a massive lead now. Coming around to the final turn. Oh, Youngblood's going to clip the car. They already weren't close. And that's not going to help him. Sassy Child gets the win moving into round number 2. Next up, Deuces Wild and Glazed Confused pull up to the line. And Deuces Wild got the jump on Glazed Confused there. The first turn, Glazed and Confused going very wide. And at the line the first time by, it's going to be close, but it's going to be Glazed and Confused with the advantage. And now Glazed and Confused clipping the car. Deuces Wild going up and over. So it'll be an easy win for Glazed and Confused going into round number 2. Next up, High and Mighty going up against Big Tex. Great start out of both trucks. Now it's High and Mighty going wide into the turn. Big Tex struggling a little bit as well in the turn, but it'll be High and Mighty with about a truck and a half advantage right now. Into the last turn, Big Tex whips it around the turn, coming to the line, and it's not going to be enough. High and Mighty just barely getting the win there over Big Tex. And now last race of round number 1, it will be Monkey Business going up against Rambunctious. Odds-on favorites, Rambunctious here. Former two-time racing champion. In the first turn, Rambunctious going really wide. Monkey Business also wide. Crossed the line the first time. It's going to be close at the line. Into the last turn. Who's it going to be? Coming to the line. This is going to be a close one. And Monkey Business gets the job done over Rambunctious. Big Hemi in the back of that truck. Not quite enough to pull out the win there. So now we look at the bracket for round number 2. It'll be Iron Giant going up against Sassy Child, Sinful Addiction going up against Glazed and Confused, Reckless Red going up against High and Mighty, and then Violator going up against Monkey Business. Now first race of round number 2, Iron Giant versus Sassy Child. Classic Chevy versus Ford matchup here, and Sassy Child absolutely drilled Iron Giant on the light. Coming around the first time. It's going to be close at the line, actually. Iron Giant had a really good first turn. It's all going to come down to this last turn, though, and it looks like Sassy Child just absolutely nailed that one. Getting the easy win going into the semifinals. Next up, Sinful Addiction versus Glazed and Confused. Almost identical starts out of both trucks. Glazed and Confused, though, just kind of rolled over that little hump on the start. Sinful Addiction aired it out. And coming to the line the first time. Very close. Sinful Addiction, big bounce on the landing, though. Could that be the difference here? Coming to the line. Glazed and Confused had an issue in the turn. It's going to be Sinful Addiction getting the win and getting into some trouble after finishing. Now next up, Reckless Red versus High and Mighty. Good start out of both trucks. Coming around the first turn. High and Mighty almost hitting the wall. It's all Reckless Red right now. Coming around the last turn. And indeed, it's going to be Reckless Red here picking up the win. Moving into the semifinals. So we now get ready for our last matchup here in round number 2. It'll be Violator versus Monkey Business. And leaving at the exact same time are those two. And both going wide into the first turn. Violator recovered a little quicker though. Into the last turn now. It's going to be close. But coming to the line, it's going to be Violator picking up the win over Monkey Business, who goes up and over and smacks the wall. That truck probably not coming back for Freestyle. We'll have to see. But now, on to the semifinals. It'll be Sassy Child versus Sinful Addiction. And then it'll be Reckless Red versus Violator. Now pulling up to the line, brand new Sassy Child versus Sinful Addiction. Great showing for this new Sassy Child. Already done far better than the old truck ever did. And Sinful Addiction going really wide in the turn. He's going to get a good run out of it, but I don't think that's the strategy here so far. Coming to the last turn, Sinful Addiction clips the car. Sassy Child has a great turn. And Sassy Child almost misses the ramp, but he's going to get the win and go into the finals. Now, who will he be going up against? Will it be Reckless Red? Will it be Violator? And away they go. Good start out of both trucks. Into the first turn. Good tight turns out of both trucks. And Reckless Red, big bounce on the landing. Could that be an issue? Coming to the line, Violator absolutely nails the last turn. And Violator's going to get the win. So our final matchup here in Houston is going to be Sassy Child versus Violator. We are crowning a new winner here tonight. Neither of these trucks have ever won before. I don't think either of them have ever been to the finals before. Good start out of both trucks into the first turn. Coming to the line the first time. Advantage to Sassy Child, but not by a lot. Oh, Violator's going to clip a car. That's going to do it for him. Sassy Child, Adam Bell, going to get their first ever win here as Violator gets into trouble and is going to dump it on its lid. Nice soft rollover. That truck should be fine for Freestyle. Now moving on into Freestyle. You can see the order here. We're going to start off with High and Mighty, then go to Deuces Wild, Iron Giant, Monkey Business, Big Tex, Sassy Child, Violator, Youngblood, Sinful Addiction, Glazed and Confused, Rambunctious, and then we'll be ending off with our reigning Freestyle champion, Reckless Red. Now coming out first, Cooper Lewis and High and Mighty. We've only seen him, I believe, one other time so far. He's much more of a racer. The truck's set up really good for it. And he's not that comfortable doing freestyle, so we'll see what he can do here on this floor. A lot of big obstacles here. So far, just kind of rolling around, hitting cars in the racing lanes. Of course, first truck out, gonna set the bar for everyone else to beat. Get some good air off that racing lane. And another good hit on those cars. Basically no momentum here in the run, though. Looks like he's going to go after that van stack. Gets a good bit of air there. And combos it up with the other van stack. Coming down to the last 30 seconds of the run here. It's an okay run. Nothing too great so far. Probably not going to be that good of a score to get us started. And he's going to go for the double. Looks like he's just going to roll over it, though. Get a little bit of air coming out of it. Time for one more move here. Looks like he's going to go for donuts. And that's going to be the end of time. He's going to shut it down. It's going to be an 18 for High and Mighty to get us started. So not a big score to beat. That'll definitely get beat at some point here. But next up we have Tom Spencer and Deuces Wild. Longtime veteran in monster trucks. Getting us started with some good air off the racing lane. Again, another one of those guys not really too comfortable with the whole freestyle thing, but he tries to put on a good show when he can. As he rolls over that van stack, gets a little bit of a slap wheelie and decides to not hit the other van stack. And he's going to go for a sky wheelie there. And the truck's going to shut off on him. We'll see if he can get that truck refired here. Clock is paused. And he got it refired. So the clock will restart on his next hit. And going right to the back of the other racing lane. Another good sky wheelie. About halfway through the run, getting a set of donuts here out of him. Just a couple of rotations. And coming back for another hit on this racing lane. Another big sky wheelie. And the truck's going to shut off on him again. And looks like he's just going to call it there. It's going to be a 14 for Deuces Wild. Not the run he was looking for. But next up we have Rick Fletcher coming out in Iron Giant. Making his debut on KORR Monsters this week. Definitely not the result he was looking for in racing. We'll have to see what he can do here in freestyle. Another one of those guys that's pretty local here to Texas. Doesn't really wander too far out. We might see him in New Orleans at some point. But for the most part, he stays here down in Texas. And so far, not a bad start to the run. A little more momentum than we've seen so far. Oh, gets tripped up by that van stack and breaks a 4-link bar. But looks like he's going to keep on going. Gets into a little trouble there. Almost fell over. Oh, getting into trouble again. That 4-link bar is definitely messing with him. That truck wants to go over real bad. But 30 seconds left on the clock right now. Good air off the racing lane. And looks like we're going to get a set of donuts here out of him. Just a few rotations, looking for his next hit. Time for one, maybe two more hits. Oh, gets kicked a little weird by the cars there. Went for a sky wheelie. And it just kind of kicked on him. Probably that 4-link bar pushing him to the side. Time expires right before he goes for this, so judges might count it. Ooh, good cross thread on the fan stack. Gets into trouble, though. And falls over onto his lid. It's going to be a 17 for Rick Fletcher and Iron Giant. Good enough to take second place. All right, next up, Ray Goodwin coming out in Big Tex. We've been seeing him for a few years now. Normally puts on a pretty good show here. Again, just like Iron Giant, pretty local here to the Texas area. But he will wander a little bit. We've seen him in New Orleans in the past. Going for the van stack. It's tripped up a little bit. And then goes right for that other van stack as well. Some good air off that racing lane. I believe the biggest air we've seen so far tonight. At least in freestyle. Lining up for something. First one going for the bus that gets tripped up by up and over. He's going to go way too early in the run. It's going to be a 10 for Big Tex. Next up, our racing winner, Adam Bell, and that brand new Sassy Child. Beautiful piece, apparently also very fast. And of course, also getting us started with some pretty huge air there off the racing lane. And now some more huge air off that other racing lane. Now, I'm not sure if he's actually tested this truck. This might just be the first time he's driven this truck. As we know, last time out, he was still driving the old truck. As he's going to line up, go for the double here. Again, just going to roll over it. Get some good air coming out of it. Into a slap wheel. He gets tripped up by that van stack. We've seen him do that a lot in the past. He'll go for a slap wheelie and then just kind of clip an obstacle and go right over. Great air over that bus stack into another slap wheelie. Coming down the last 25 seconds on the clock, going for a sky wheelie. Not quite as vertical as we saw out of Deuce's Wild, but still a pretty good one. Get some more good air going over that van stack, going for the other one now. And just dancing over it with the back wheels. Time for one more move here. What are we going to get out of him? Some huge air off the racing lane. By far the biggest air we've seen all night. Great momentum, great air. Have to say this is definitely going to be taking the lead. So we get a set of donuts here out of him. I think it's safe to say Adam Bell loving this new Sassy Child. Now going back to the double, rolling over it the other way. More great air coming out of it. Walks it down on the back wheels. Looks like that truck's getting a little hot on him. And he's going to park it right up on the bus. And it's going to be a 21 for Sassy Child. Good enough to take the lead. Although I feel like that's a little low. As next up, Bill Taylor coming out in Violator. Been seeing him for a few years. Definitely been stepping up his freestyle game. And of course, made it to the finals in racing here. Had a chance to beat Sassy Child. Clipped that car and that chance went away. So far, good start to freestyles. Lining up, huge air over that bus stack. Combos it right up with the van stack. Now we're going to get a set of donuts here out of Bill. Now I know he just picked up a new sponsor. He's got a new BDS blower on that thing. Going for a cross thread. Not going to get it up and over. He's going to go. But he's going to pull it back down onto all four wheels. Open diff or not. 30 seconds left on the clock. Big save. And tons of big air. You know this is going to be going straight to the lead if he fills. And looks like he's going to line up for the double. Oh, but he's going for it. He's not going to make it. Comes up short. Endos of the truck. And back onto all four wheels once again. And the score's not up. Are they going to let him refire that? They are. He's got the truck refired. Bill Taylor in Violator. Living up to the name and just violating that truck and this track right now. Huge air off the racing lane. Bounces it right onto the cars. This is an insane run here out of Bill Taylor. Great combo there as well. I have to think this is going to be really close to a 30. I don't know if the judges are quite going to give one out this early. Up and over. He's not saving it this time. And it's going to be a 30 though. Judges decided that was worth the perfect score. So now Bill Taylor is walking out of here with a freestyle win. It's just a matter of is he sharing that trophy or not. But now first person to try to tie that is going to be Henry Gibbons in Youngblood. Henry's been off and on in freestyle here recently. Sometimes he's really good, sometimes luck just doesn't go his way. We'll have to see what version of Henry we get here tonight. So far it looks like he's going for it. And some more good air off that racing lane. Already, you can tell the momentum's kind of lacking here in the run. He's got the air just taking a little too long to get to obstacles as he now blasts through that car he flipped over when he came out. About halfway through the run. Going for the van stack, gonna go for the other one now. Very nice move there. 30 seconds left in the run, getting a set of donuts out of him. Again, just a couple rotations. A lot of these drivers just like to hit and quit the donuts. So it's always a little treat when someone actually just sticks with it and does a massive set of donuts. Henry not going to give us that tonight. It looks like big bounce onto the bumper, onto one wheel. What a save there from Youngblood. I'm not sure if he was in control of that, but it sure looked like he was. Big air off the racing lane. That might have been a little too late in the run, though, for that save, because he did it right as the clock expired. Not really a chance to ride the adrenaline from that save into some big moves to end off Freestyle. And it looks like we're going to get another set of donuts out of him. Much better set this time. And he's going to end it there. It's going to be 23, so good enough for second place, but nowhere near that big 30 we just saw get put up by Violator. Now we have Keith Johnson coming out in Sinful Addiction, get us started right away with that van stack. He comes up a little short on that one. Some good air off that car stack. Backside of the racing lane gets tripped out by the bus. So far, not a bad run. A little slower on the momentum from what we normally see from Keith, but some big air coming out of the double. And now he's going to get that transfer. Violator didn't. Took it at a little bit different angle. Made it a lot easier to do. Huge air off the racing lane. Last 30 seconds of the run, going for another transfer, other way, up and over. Big hit on the side of the truck. And he's going to be done there on his lid. It's going to be a 20 for Sinful Addiction. Not enough to break into that top three. So now we have Gene Martin coming out and Glazing Confused. Big air to get us started on the racing lane. Then getting into a little bit of trouble there with those cars. And some more big air off the other racing lane. Gene, again, one of those guys. He's either off or on in Freestyle. Not quite so much as he goes over early. Just sometimes he's not feeling it one night, and it won't be that good of a run. Right now, looking like we might see something good out of him here tonight. Huge air off the van stack, and immediately bounces it into the other one. Yeah, we're definitely going to see something out of Gene here tonight. Some more big air off the racing lane. Blows the hood off on the landing. And he's going to line up for something here. Going cross-thread over the fan stack. Huge sky wheelie and blows the body off the truck. Not that often you see one of these KORR Monsters trucks without a body running, especially during the run. Normally they lose it in a crash and racing. 15 seconds on the clock, and he's still going for it here. I will say the momentum not quite what we saw out of Violator, but still really good. Huge air going for the double, and he's going to ride it down the side of the ramp. What a way to end the run. Now going to go for another transfer onto the bus stack and buries it in the bus. And I think he's stuck there. Yeah, he's going to shut it down. It's going to be 24 for Glazing Confused. Good enough to take second, but that's still a massive gap to Violator. As next up, Lonnie Hall comes out in rambunctious, second to last truck. Starting us off good, a little wheelie. off the cars, tried for a slap wheelie, didn't quite get it. He's been having some bad luck recently, going over early, normally doing donuts. We saw that a lot with him back when he was driving Cottonmouth. Those Team Rat Trap trucks loved flipping over during donuts. Huge air off the racing lane. And speaking of donuts, looks like we're going to get a set out of him here. Oh, already hiking up and over. He's going to go. Lonnie Hall cannot keep that thing on its wheels now doing donuts. It's only going to be a 12 for him over way too soon. As we now move to our last truck, Opal Baxter, Reckless Red. If anyone can tie that 30, it's going to be her. Going to start at huge air. And it's probably only going to get bigger than that. As the run goes on, more big air off the racing lane. Of course, Opal, 3-time freestyle champion, won her 3rd this past season. Huge air off the racing lane and dances it over the cars, just like we saw Violator do. As we get more big air out of her going over the bus stack. Ooh, a little bit of a cross thread going over the double. We haven't seen anyone try that yet. That's a pretty unique move there for her. And now she's going to go for the double. Big air. And absolutely butter on the down ramp. You cannot get better than that. Coming down the last 20 seconds on the run. Huge air again. The only thing she has not done that Violator did is have a couple of great saves. But all in all, this run's just insane out of her. Huge air to huge air. Gets into trouble here. Bad bouncing on her lid, but it's right as the clock expires. It's only going to be a 27. Judges really like those saves out of Violator. So Bill Taylor in Violator is your lone freestyle winner here in Houston. Opal Baxter, Reckless Red, nowhere near enough points to get there. And then Glazing Infused with that 24, Youngblood with a 23, Sassy Child 21, Sinful Addiction 20, High and Mighty 18, Iron Giant 17, Deuces Wild 14, Rambunctious 12, Big Tex 10, and then Monkey Business unable to compete after that crash. What a great show in Houston. Crowned a pair of new winners. Sassy Child getting the win in racing, Violator getting it in freestyle. Let us know what you thought about this show down in the comments below. And while you're down there, why not let us know who your favorite truck is as well. But as always, we hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next week in Detroit, Michigan. We'll see you then.